Well, this is it. I am Melissa with Mo Motivation Health, and we are fighting for more in 2024. And this is our last call of 2024, focusing on our overall health and wellness. And Michelle has been with me this entire year. Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate you, Michelle. And we have learned a lot this year. And a few announcements before we kind of close out this uh, fall challenge. First is next week will be your last check-in. There will be two check-ins. You cannot qualify for any prizes unless you do two check-in. One check-in is for week number 9, which is the week that we're in right now. And then the second check-in is for the overall challenges that you participated in. And so they like to have people fill out both so that you can qualify for prizes. If you haven't checked in this week, please get checked in so that we can get all of the points together. And they are also going to work on pulling together some sort of a cookbook.
Nice.
So that's going to be something that they're going to work on in the next few weeks. So if you have favorite recipes or anything that you want to share, um, just keep that in the back of your mind and let's participate in the cookbook, which I suspect they'll probably pull together after the first of the year. That's my guess. They didn't say that, but they've got some fun things happening from now until the end of the year. Our move of the week is burpees. You can do it sitting down, reaching out, and then down, and reaching out, and then down. You can do it if you don't want to go all the way down to the floor because some people in our community can't do that. You can go onto like a table or a counter or a bench, however low you want to go, and you can reach up, do a push up, bend down. Reach up, do a push up, and then bend down. So if you're looking for ideas on how to modify or maybe start someplace and then challenge yourself, you'll want to go to the JuvaFit commit page and look at the move of the week. Or of course, all of these moves are on the Fighting for More page that we all are in. So that's the quick and dirty announcements. And the call last night was amazing, as always. They are always talking about ways to help you improve and move forward. And our hope in these challenges is that you will form some nice little habits for yourself and that you'll honor yourself and that you'll make yourself a priority. Notice self-care, self-love, all of those sorts of things, and that you will want to continue some of those habits moving forward. When we're in between challenges, the next challenge will start in January. I don't know the exact date yet. So we will have about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks to fall off the wagon. So how far do you want to fall? Do you want to fall and give up everything that you worked hard for all year or even these last 9 weeks? Or do you just want to have some fun here and there because we've got Thanksgiving and Christmas between now and the next challenge? So, what will you commit to? What will be your non-negotiable after you finish the challenge? Something that you can bring from this challenge and move forward in your life. Because the one thing that I love about what I've accomplished in the last year and a half, actually, is that I've lost 27 pounds and really haven't gained any of it back. Sure, I've gained one or two, but then I'm able to sustain. So a lot of diets have you losing weight, and then as soon as you stop, then you gain weight. And so next week they will have a JuvaFit commit call to tell you, let's say you're on a keto diet And let's say you want to go off it for a while. So do you want to go from your 20 to 30 carbs a day to 150 and then sustain? Or do you want to reintroduce carbs and maybe enjoy yourself a little bit and then start to back off? One of the biggest things that I've learned in these last few challenges is it is all about just slow progression and not necessarily, hey, I lost 50 pounds. Look at me, look at me. And then all of a sudden you turn around and you've gained 60 pounds. So what have you gained? So these are health and wellness challenges. I like to refer to them as that because I want people to understand that there are lots of non-scale victories, which we will also take a couple of moments to talk about. But it's not just about losing weight, it's actually feeling better from the inside out. It's giving your body proper nutrition and proper macros, proper micronutrients, proper pairings of food in order to optimize your overall health and wellness. And I can tell you that the way that I feel now is much, much different than the way I felt last year, and is drastically different than the way I felt 4 years ago when I first started these challenges. So I think that every challenge, I learned something new about myself. I learned something new about my body. The more you track, the more you hold yourself accountable, the more movement you have, the more ways that you can figure out a way to feel good and keep moving. I think that's probably a wonderful thing. So if you didn't participate in this challenge, we're okay with that. If you were participating from a distance because you didn't want to quite want to commit, I would encourage you to kind of have a moment with yourself and ask yourself in January, are you worth 9 weeks of a focus for you? And I think if you're honest, you'll say yes. So we are hoping to have several teams starting in January. It's been a weird year this year, but we're hoping to have several teams in January and looking forward to helping people moving forward. In the meantime, in the Fighting for More group, you can invite people into the group. They need to be respectful and we will hold each other accountable, not every day, but we will keep in touch in the Fighting for More group. So I just wanted to kind of just summarize all of that because we're all going to be busy in the next couple of weeks prepping for Thanksgiving and seeing family. And so we want to make sure that we that we do that. So if there's something in the group you want to post, a recipe you want to share, if you want some thoughts about different types of diets, because it doesn't have to be a keto diet to improve your overall health and wellness. You can do Mediterranean, vegan. There's even carnivore diets. I mean, there's a bazillion diets out there. Different people have different results in different ways. But I will say that you cannot diet your way out of a shitty diet. And what I mean by that is you can't go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and eat chicken every day and think you're going to lose weight. So you can't go to McDonald's every day and think you're going to feel great. I mean, it's you can't. You just can't. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure that I put kind of all of that out there. So before we dive into anything, Michelle, is there any questions or comments or anything that you want to talk about?
Well, I've just appreciated the accountability, the check-ins, the weekly information from you, from Juva. It's very educational, and we're always learning, we're always growing. Nobody's perfect, right? I like when Steve says that. No one's perfect, but we're on a trajectory of getting healthier every single month and every single challenge that we're doing. And if you didn't make your goals this challenge, it's okay,
Great.
right? Every day is a new day to honor yourself, do some meal prep, maybe eat at home a little bit so you can control your ingredients and
Yep.
Keep striving for better health inside and out. We have amazing supplements that help us to feel, even when I got COVID in September, even when you're feeling sick, like just to move through it faster. Like I only had my fever one day this time, which was amazing. And then some lingering things occurred, but um,
So
yeah,
you think the supplements helped you with that?
absolutely.
And
They
the fact that you were already on a health and wellness trajectory, did that make a difference for you?
made a big difference because instead of being out a week, it was one really bad day. And then, like, we're going to catch viruses, we're going to get sick. We're living in a world where there's germs. You're not going to avoid it. If you're around young children or children in general, which is my profession. So, yeah, it's going to happen, but we can equip
Congratulations.
ourselves with the best products possible so that hopefully we're not getting sick. But if we do, we can be on a good path very
We can
quickly.
address it. So you participated in all four challenges this year. Am I correct about that?
There's three, right? We did the
There was four, there was one in January, one in May. Oh, maybe there was only three.
done three challenge.
So from January of this year to now, what have you learned about yourself or your health, or what have you kind of figured out? Because
Um,
you would,
Cortisol and stress can definitely, even if you're doing the right things, affect you. So I like that Juva doesn't just talk about supplements and food. They're talking about self-improvement, gratitude, self improving yourself, like through reading or listening to a new podcast, like all the ways that we can better ourselves. And I like that they look at us as a whole person, right? Our mind, our stress, our bodies, it's all it's synchronous. So we
they
need to
do,
we're
they address mind, body, and soul, all being, all encompassing for
right.
your overall health and wellness. And I know I've seen it with a lot of different people, having different focuses, and that's helped their overall health and wellness.
Absolutely.
So from January to now, I'm assuming that there are a few things that have changed in your mind about what your non-negotiable is. So for example, when you're off the challenge, what do you always do regardless of whether you're on or off the challenge?
I'm always meal prepping now. We're mostly eating at home, um, just because I can control the ingredients. So I'm always doing that. I'm always looking for new recipes, new things to try because, like anyone, you kind of get in the rut cooking the same things, and
Yeah.
we need to have our
Yes,
body explore different vegetables and different seasonings and spices and trying new foods. It can be exciting and fun to cook them. I enjoy cooking. I get that from you, my big sister. I enjoy cooking, especially when I have the time. And if it's in a rush, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it can still be very healthy. So it just requires a bit of planning on the weekend and a little planning in your shopping list. So
but
that
don't you find, Michelle, that it kind of eases the stress through the week when you're trying to hurry up and you're hungry and you want to have a grab and go, so to speak? Do you
right.
find that prior proper planning, as mom and dad used to always say, PPP, the prior proper planning, um, kind of helps eliminate the stress during the week when you get caught up in all of the work and the craziness of a work week?
Absolutely. I think the food planning, it's just nice. I don't have to rush to the store. Like I do a big shopping trip that gets me 1 to 2 weeks, other than like produce. I always have to get lettuce each week and milk and whatever we're needing in our home. But I do a big stock up and then I can make it quick. So in my mind, I have to plan out whatever's on sale, right? Oh, it's on sale. Maybe I'm going to try this. And I've tried some recipes that have been really fun and they were delicious. But maybe I don't want to make it again, right? Because I'm not
Right.
hungry for that. Like I was craving Chinese food. So I made a beef and broccoli keto recipe with sauteed cauliflower rice. And it satisfied the the hunger, right? And then I had
Right.
leftovers for a few days to have for lunches or dinners. So that was,
Awesome.
yeah. So that's just an example of, and having my sweets, I don't really crave sweets so much on these challenges as I do salty things, but I do have things in the freezer. Like I'll make a batch at the beginning of the challenge, and then you're eating like a little mini keto pumpkin almond butter Lily's chocolate chip little muffin if I have to have a little sweet. It's about this big and maybe 2 to 3 carbs. So it's just a little bit of planning, but it goes a long way.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, by all means, share any of these magnificent recipes in the group because I know most of us are women and we love, having new creative recipes to try. So for me, my non-negotiable has been daily movement. That has probably been my biggest non-negotiable. And I'm noticing hydration, like really focusing on hydration. I'm a little bit behind today. I have a little bit of a headache. And I know why. It's probably because of the storm, but it's also because I'm not properly hydrated. So for me, those are my non-negotiables, the daily movement and the hydration, which I don't deviate from at all. The food I might deviate from a little bit, but what I'm finding is the longer I'm feeling better and getting healthier, the less desire I have to go whole hog. I like to joke about it and really mess myself up because then it takes maybe a week for my body to come back into alignment and feel better. So what I've learned in the last 4 years is that your health really starts in your gut and it starts with what you're putting into your gut. And so that's becoming more of a non-negotiable. I don't know if it's because of me aging or getting healthier. I suspect it's a combination of both of those things. So those are my non-negotiables. So what what will your focus be the next 5 days? We've
I
got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then
I
Tuesday. So
cast off.
6 days. Congratulations.
Oh, and I have no restrictions now. I'm going to need therapy, obviously, because I don't have full range of motion. I broke my wrist very badly in August, so we're making progress. So I get
Now,
to
wait a
do,
second. So you broke your wrist and you're participating in the health and wellness challenge. How have you managed some of these moves of the week, like planks and things? What have you been doing?
you modify, or I was able to get on my elbows or do it against the wall, just as my pain tolerated it. So
So you challenge yourself
course, right? At
in
whatever level. I
in
didn't love
spite
this level.
of.
I didn't love this level of not being able to do a burpee, not I don't love it. But I'm still walking. I can still walk every day. I can still do some movements, right? Some
You're
stretching.
still participating,
Yeah,
even if you have to sit and do it differently.
yeah, because I had a broken
Congratulations.
foot and a broken wrist. So I was very limited at the beginning of this challenge in my movement, and then I caught COVID. And so we're making progress with my health. So I'm taking those all as a win, right? Like I healed from COVID. I'm dealing with other things and I'm moving in the right direction.
Great,
I honor
great.
myself.
So your focus on this challenge sounds like you were really focused on just challenging yourself wherever you were at.
Right. I was very frustrated at the beginning of this challenge because I was on a good, we did our spring challenge, right? We did our summer challenge. I was getting strong. I had to move and things just fell off the wagon. It was a lot of stress to make an international move and lots of things were happening, right? I was moving my business. It's a lot was happening and it was stressful and my body didn't handle that stress well. So I got to get back to just calm.
I,
And
you
I've
will.
lost 4 pounds in this challenge, which is shocking.
Excellent. Congratulations.
I didn't do my heavy weights. I didn't do my right, but you could still challenge yourself and do well,
Great.
whatever movement
But
you're.
you can always use your own body is your challenge. So like, if you can squat and your knees hurt, if you can squat a little bit, great. But if you can squat a little bit lower, or maybe you just do more of a little bit of squat, you can there's always a way to challenge. And we did talk about that a few weeks ago in the JuvaFit commit call, the FIIT, I think it is. So yeah. So what do you think so you've lost 4 pounds? Have you lost any inches?
2 inches, baby.
2 inches off your waist,
Off
yes?
my waist. Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. So what does that mean?
Well, typically, here's what happens. The challenge ends and my 2 inches are back on by the time we start again. I'm not going to have that happen this year. I did so well on Halloween. Now I'm very motivated for Thanksgiving and Christmas to stay on track. Like I was very impressed with myself at how
Well,
I say
congratulations.
no to things, and I didn't feel like I was missing out. I either had a replacement, like a healthy little dark chocolate treat that's keto, low carb, low sugar. So it was fine. It was good.
So let me just remind you that 2 inches off your waist probably has reduced your visceral fat. And the
Yes,
visceral fat is a dangerous fat that causes a lot of people health and wellness challenge. So keep with it
I
and
am.
keep the focus. That's amazing. That's awesome. I have lost 2 or 3 pounds and 3/4 of an inch in my waist. And I'm really feeling a difference. And we were talking earlier about non-scale victory because sometimes you're building muscle while you're losing weight. So the scale doesn't become as gratifying as maybe you would want it to be. And we don't we don't have any crazy supplements that we offer to people where you can, lose 50 pounds right away. It's just the goal is to slowly increase your health and wellness. So that's something that I'm very happy with. And because I haven't gained any of my 27 pounds back, I'm very proud that I'm losing weight, and every time I lose a little bit more, I seem to be able to sustain at that point and keep losing a little bit more. So it's a little bit more slow than I'd like, but the progression is what I'm looking for. And with every pound I lose, my joints feel better and I just feel better. So, all right. Well, so shall we make a promise to ourselves before we close out from now until the end of the year?
Yes, ma'am.
So I am going to promise to myself that I am going to keep my focus on tracking what I'm eating, be very aware of what I'm eating, that I will commit to some sort of movement, no less than 15 or 20 minutes a day. I'm finding that even on the day of rest, that I have to move. I'm kind of like almost to a point of being addicted to movement, which is kind of shocking because honestly, if they told me tomorrow that exercise would kill me, I'd be the first to jump off the bandwagon. Not that I don't enjoy it, but it's one of those things where for me it feels like a task. And this year it's feeling less like a task and more like some sort of joy that I can add to my life. So I'm very happy about that progression to myself. So I'm going to promise myself that movement will be occurring each and every day of my life because I really do feel much, much better when I do it, and that I'll get really good at holding myself accountable with what I'm eating. So that's my promise from now until the end of the year. And just because you're around yumminess, Thanksgiving, Christmas doesn't mean that you have to say no, but maybe you could have a no thank you bite or two instead of having a platter full of the yuck stuff. So that's my promise to myself.
I promise to continue with what I'm learning. I think this challenge, I've really been tweaking my portion sizes, especially when it comes to proteins. So just having a smaller portion, right, that would be consistent, and tracking that smaller portion, because what I learned is with the tracking, so important, is that I was eating double the portions, but I wasn't tracking it correctly. So I was really getting much better about, if it's 3 ounces of meat, it's 3 ounces of meat, not 7 or 6 ounces of chicken. So yeah, I'm going to continue with all of that. And really, my body is just demanding me to get back to where I was before the move. So I'm getting there and I'm happy, but I was very inflamed by the time we moved with just the stress. And I wasn't
Great,
eating terrible, but I wasn't getting all my movement in. I wasn't on a good routine. I got out of that for, about 6 weeks during the move. So
right, right.
going
Well,
back.
congratulations. You will finish. Yes,
Yes, I will.
I will finish as well. And please reach out to us if you have questions, if you need some love and support, or you just need to kind of run some things by us. I feel like we're both becoming really good at what we're doing. We're not experts, we're
Mm-mm.
not doctors,
Mm.
but we are improving ourselves differently. And Michelle, I'm going to try to find some pictures of the two of us from a couple of years ago because I think there's nothing like a picture being worth 1,000 words to show people how we've progressed. And we just strive to do better and better each and every day. So thank you. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Michelle, for sticking with it the whole year with me and fighting for more in 2024. And we will talk soon.
All right. Thank you for coaching us, Melissa. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. You guys have a safe and healthy holiday. Bye.
Bye.